The Rosses have a 330 square metre property in Bondi that is currently split into 2 units. Their goal is to merge them into a single family home. It's currently just the 2 of them plus their 2 dogs, but they have plans to start a family soon. It's a north-facing home which is great for natural light. However, it also sits at a very busy intersection. The first step in designing your dream home is engaging an architect to create a concept design. We work with our clients through a series of plans, elevations and sketches to capture your design intent that we couple with our highly functional design ethos. In meeting 1, we focus on finding the right master plan. In meetings 2 and 3, we address the look, feel and volume of the exterior, but we'll get to that in a later video. Due to the fact that the property is currently split and the intention is to make it into a single family home, this will be a full floor plan reconfiguration and extension. My goal during the first round of planning is always to figure out what the best use of the site is, ensuring we embed decent design principles and maximise value. We want to focus on your core needs and functional requirements. Forget all your assumptions of budget, what will get approved, what wall is structural. We will later work backwards with you to address these things. Right now, you need to dream big. If you don't, there's a high probability you will leave stones unturned and miss out on opportunities. The purpose of Workshop 1 is to convey our ideas face to face and ensure that the design intent is understood. We're taking a very deliberate approach to the front yard by designing solid walls around these boundaries. A front yard full of vegetation will act as a secondary barrier to the noise and traffic outside. Here we envisage an entry portico where people can step off the sidewalk, have a secure place to wait and find their keys. This will create a really nice entry experience. Because it currently bears the brunt of the busy road, our clients had very negative feelings towards this front room. In their initial brief, they had asked that it be turned into a dark cinema room that completely shuts out the outside. However, it enjoys the best of the northern orientation and sits adjacent to a decently sized front yard. So I wanted to reframe in their minds what was possible.
So we've proposed here, I think originally your front room, the room cuts back a bit more, something like that. So we were proposing to bring that out a little bit just so that the room is a more regular kind of shape.
This wall will move forward and extend across here now.
I've obviously thought about what this space will look like a lot, but I really liked the thought of bringing it forward. Like that's obviously never occurred to me, and looking at what that room is shaped like now, you're like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was quite pleased with that when we just went, oh, hang on, why don't we make it more regular? And straight away, like it looks like a really nice dimension. It's uncompromised now.
As this is a pedestrian entry and exit, we've incorporated an entry dump zone that will benefit from the northern aspect. As the centre of the plan won't benefit much from natural light, we've consolidated smaller private rooms and utility in this middle section. We'd initially placed the laundry here, adjacent to the kitchen, with an additional side entry. However, whilst discussing this with the client, we unlocked a better solution that solves one of their current pain points.
The laundry is an interesting one though, because we have dogs and often walk them from the front of the house and they come back dirty and that kind of thing. What if you switched the bath and the laundry and you could enter just
switch it so that the laundry comes to here, say, and you can use that as a secondary entry, which would be perfect with the dogs and so forth. You can even have the entry just like that, would you?
Yeah,
into it, and
I think that'd be pretty good. Yeah,
it's nice and long and spacious.
Could you fit a doggy bath in there?
Probably, absolutely. Like you could just make it, maybe your doggy bath is sort of in that zone.
It's very popular, the doggy bath these days.
So you could have your dog bath and all the things.
Straight in there, yeah.
Yeah, and then the hanging on that side maybe, or over the top. And then you've got an even more generous than bathroom. So you could have, bath, you could have all the things in that one there. Yeah, that's already looking good. And then maybe this just becomes sort of one room, and then we shift everything else back. That'll be really nice.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. It's looking really good.
There's a real buzz during these workshop moments. Our initial design is a base framework of what is possible, and it's customised throughout this process. We love to see how it inevitably unlocks ideas for how your home will make your life easier. The main feature of the ground floor is the open plan living dining kitchen at the rear. It's their one opportunity to go boundary to boundary to gain full use of the width of their property. The kitchen will be largely supported by tall utility with a Long Island bench and banquette seating for 10 people on the opposite side. With open plan spaces, the question that comes up time and time again is why isn't the kitchen adjacent to the outside?
In terms of just the living room, is there a reason why the kitchen comes before the living room?
The thing to keep in mind is that the kitchen is much more of a blocker than the living room.
To have a good kitchen, you need significant wall space to have a run of tall utility. This means it doesn't belong in a place with lots of windows. You want the area directly adjacent to the outside, aka the best space, for hanging out in, which will primarily be done in your living room and secondary to that, your dining room. Your kitchen, which is a hardcore utility zone, should sit back from that where it can effectively serve all areas well and still benefit from the views, aspect and surveillance.
Say you did put the kitchen in this space here. Yeah. You kind of lose your opportunity to put a big run of like fat, tall utility, which is essential to the proper functioning of the kitchen. Yeah. And then you block off, like, so then just say for argument's sake, this became your living area. The living area would be a bit sad and depressing and closed off and not connected with your outdoor space. And also, nothing about your living room is obstructive to, still from your position in the kitchen, you'll have this fantastic vantage point over your dining room, your living space, and then beyond, because the dining room and the living room are not blockers to that sort of view.
Yeah, that's logical and flowing.
Before moving upstairs, we continued our client's journey through the living room to their Alfresco space. Because the back of the house faces directly south, we didn't want to place the Alfresco adjacent to the living room, as that would obstruct both natural light from getting into the plan and affect the outlook from the living room to the yard. So we wanted to test and see how they would feel about attaching the Alfresco to the garage.
How does that sort of strike you? Does that fill you with dread?
No, I like it.
It actually, funnily enough, Alex had moved some of our outdoor furniture into that exact spot today.
So that he could sit in the sun. Is it because that's where you want to be, Alex?
Yeah, that back corner gets sun for the longest part of the day in winter.
Yeah.
Having walked the clients through all the public zones downstairs, we moved on to the second story, which hosts all the bedrooms. Upstairs, we have the primary bedroom with an ensuite and walk-in wardrobe, plus 2 bedrooms and a shared bathroom. As you reach the top of the stairs, immediately to your right is the primary suite. There's a generous ensuite, a double-sided walk-in wardrobe, and a small balcony overlooking the backyard. Having worked through their floor plan and workshopped all their pain points, we now have a floor plan that is efficient and fulfills all their needs. The entry sequence offers protection from the road. The 2 living spaces enjoy the best positions adjacent to the outside gardens. The bedrooms are all consolidated upstairs with an additional study guest room on the ground floor. The utility zones have been consolidated and optimised for their dogs. The fact that it is a 2-storey home means there is still significant outdoor space to enjoy. Now it's time to prepare for our next meeting, where we will present our exterior design concept and review the overall volume of the build. If this was your floor plan, what changes would you have made?